In this video, you're going to be able to see how I teach a suggestibility test, break it down, and then you're going to see how the student goes out to use it with somebody. So you'll see that whole process from learning and teaching all the way through to actually using in the real world. Whenever you're ready, carry on watching. So I'm going to be first demonstrating the Steel Arm Suggestibility Test, my version of it, and then I'm going to break it down. So, Steel Arm Suggestibility Test, it uses catalepsy. Just want to check, is your arm and shoulder okay? It's comfortable, free of any issues? Yeah, okay. What I'd like to do is I'd like you to stick your arm out in front of you, and I'd like you to make it stiff and strong and rigid. Okay. Now, as you're doing this, I'd like you to focus just here on that point. Focus all of your attention on that point. And as you do that, I'd like you to imagine that from here to here, your arm has become a strong steel bar. Thick, strong steel bar. And in fact, it's so strong, it's so stiff now, that in a moment when I try and bend it, this arm's going to be totally stiff and rigid. Yep, and yep. Brilliant. Now, make it even stiffer, even stronger. In a moment, I'm going to count from 3 down to 1. And you can try and bend it. And just notice that as you do, it becomes even stronger. 3, 2, 1. And you can try. You can even use the other arm to try if you want to. Not doing it, is it? No, that's amazing. Thank you. Now, the way we can get rid of this steel is actually take a deep breath and just blow here. And find it just evaporates. How cool is that? Thank you. So that's the demo. Now, when you're doing this with a client, the very first thing to do is, because the arm's stuck out like this, we want to check that anywhere that arm would be that could be hurt, there's no existing injury. Yeah. So if we think about it, it's really neck, shoulder, and anywhere along the forearm. Okay. What we do is we get the client to stick their arm out. Now, some people, they use the non-dominant arm. I don't think it makes any difference, so go with whatever works best for you. So get them to stick their arm out. Now, this is where the special bit comes in, because what we actually want to do is we want to inhibit movement. Now, if you want to, you can say to the client, look, your arm bends, and I'm going to help you understand with the power of your mind that this arm just won't bend. So you can frame it as a power of the mind approach. And then what you do to get this inability to move, it's a very sneaky thing. You talk about the arm becoming stiff and rigid, but as you do so, you twist the hand. And what you're doing is you're locking out the elbow, and you're getting this twist. You're using the concept of getting them to focus on the inside of the thumb. Yeah. If you got them to just twist to here, that elbow would still move. But by locking it out this way and focusing here, that elbow is locked out now. And then you can talk about the steel and the strength and everything else. You can even bring in a double bind, that the more you try and bend it, the stiffer and stronger it will become. But ultimately, you're locking out the elbow with this approach. Okay? So use whatever suggestions that you want to for strength and the steel becoming bigger, stronger, whatever works for you. Then you can do your test by checking that it's not going to move. You can invite them to test with the other arm if they want to. And then to unlock, what we want to do is we want to give them a reason for unlocking. So we twist the hand back with the breath and then get them to blow here. Because we've got the focus here, it's logical that you've got to move the hand, and then the breath, and then you get that back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing. You ready to go and have a go?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. So that gives you an idea. You can use whatever words that you want to. This isn't about me saying, here is the script for how to do it. What makes it unique, what makes it my way, is the whole concept of having this twist and the focus and this locking out the elbow. If you weren't to do that, if you were to do it just as suggestion only, then you aren't going to have the risk of the elbow bending. This version is a no-fail version, so it's better as a convincer than as a pure suggestibility test. If you're just doing a pure suggestibility test, you can keep your hand here. If you want it to be a convincer, get that amazing twist in, so with the focus here to lock out that elbow. And then at the end, when you want to conclude, you give somebody a good reason for twisting the hand back with the breath onto this particular knuckle point. So carry on watching to see Ross go out and use this with somebody outside.
So, Anush, you happen to engage in something that will show you how the power of your mind works. Excellent. And you're free from any injuries of your neck, back, shoulders. Excellent. So, are you able to pop your arm out like this? Wonderful. And you can bend it across like that? Wonderful. Yeah. So what I want you to do is you pop your hand out for me, and pop your whole arm out. What I want you to do is just imagine as though that arm is becoming like a steel bar. Just imagine that arm becoming like a steel bar. And as you do that, just focus on this point here. Continue to focus on that point there, and just imagine as though that arm is just becoming more and more rigid. The more that you concentrate on that part, the more rigid this arm becomes. As you imagine that arm becoming more and more rigid, you can start to notice how strong it feels as that hand becomes even more clasped. Focus on that point, that arm becoming more and more rigid, as if it's encased in a whole bar of steel. So to the point where, when I'm going to test it, you'll notice that your arm just won't move. So as you test it then, you just notice that your arm won't move. Isn't that interesting? As you continue to focus there, continuing to focus, noticing it becoming more and more rigid. The more rigid it becomes, now you can't even move it. You can start to try and move it across, try to move it across your arm, maybe use your other hand, just to try and use that to try and pull it across. And just notice how much more stronger it becomes. It's interesting, isn't it? So as you continue to focus on that point there, just noticing now, as you focus on that point, that arm just starting to become more and more fluid. That steel just becoming out. And as you just notice here, and just blow on that part there, you'll just start to notice that you can then bend your arm. So blow on that part there, and just bend your arm. And that's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, thanks very much. Thank you.